today on Caliber 50 Customs. Today, we're doing a 1934 Chevy Master Coupe. So why don't we head on down to the range and let's get started. Hello everybody, welcome back to the range. Today, we're doing a 1934 Master Coupe. Oh yeah, this casting I bought just to do what I'm about ready to do. So, why don't we go ahead and get started, and I say it's time to field strip. Yeah, for those who don't know what it means, take a look at my prior video and you'll understand. You know, this casting was a decent casting. It really was. There was no flaws in it that I seen right off the bat. And what I ended up doing to it was something I've been wanting to do to a casting, but I never really, I guess, had the guts to do it. You know, I've cut off front ends before, you know, that's not the hard part. And everything just, it was so clean. The cuts were clean. And, you know, I'm still kind of learning with the jeweler saw, so I've been kind of doing more cuts and stuff like that just to hone my skills on it. And so far, everything's coming out great with the cutting on it. You know, I cut the front grille off because I planned on using that later, and, you know, cut the hood portion of it off because I didn't need it, so I just kind of got rid of it. But, you know, to cut with the jeweler saw, I actually, for this time, I did not break any blades. I was actually really shocked, so I was kind of happy about that. You know, what I did to this one, as you seen in the video at the very beginning of this video, they was chopping a top off a truck. Yeah, I know this ain't a truck, but I thought I'd give it a shot and see what would turn out, how it would look. And it didn't turn off too bad. It was a little different than what I've used to seeing chop tops look like, but hey, what can you expect from a, you know, 64 scale casting? But other than, you know, it just looking different, it really looked good. It actually did. I wasn't really thrilled about the end result, but it doesn't look too bad. No, the paint could have been better, but for what I had and the time limit I had, you know, it turned out pretty decent. You know, I only needed to punch out one of the posts because I cut the front hood off and it had the front post on it. You know, I'm filing down, you know, the little burrs and little extra edges and stuff like that off the top of the roof. And, you know, just dropping it down, and I dropped it down, I honestly, I'd have to say about maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, give or take. I'm not really measuring it when I drop it. I just use tape as a guideline that you'll see here in a few minutes. You know, but other than, you know, the filing took forever. You know, just making sure I got it flat, making sure it got to where it needed to be, and it flowed really good. Like, once I got it to where I wanted it, and, you know, I filed it down in some areas, you know, and it really kind of it looked like nothing was done to the top, which was the main goal that I was seeking out for this, was just to make sure that it looked like it was made that way, honestly. Not that you could actually see the cut lines, and when I filled it in with like Tamiya putty, it kind of gapped up the lines, and it made it look better. It really didn't. And here you see me, cutting down the front two posts and the back two posts, and I was gonna leave the center back window posts here, but I decided later on to cut them off because it just wasn't going. They weren't fitting right. They weren't lining up. They weren't matching up to the top of the roof. So I just went ahead and cut them off because they was the only two pieces, the only two parts of this that actually wasn't lining up. But as you see here, I'm just kind of testing and just seeing what it's going to look like, and and here I am cutting off those little center posts, and it was an easy build. The cutting part was what took forever. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for further notifications. Here I am putting in the gun oil, and I bought 2 of these castings just in case. What I mean by just in case is if I messed something up on the one I did, I had another one to go back to. So I wasn't gonna have to be rushing to try to find another casting in case I wanted it. I had to find the right wheels to go with it, because the wheels is what I pick to determine what color I'm actually gonna paint the casting. If they're colored castings, I'll go off of not colored castings, sorry, but if they got colors in the wheels, I'll kind of base the design off of something that'll go with that color. I ended up going up with a set of green rimmed wheels that I got from a Mustang casting that had multiple wheels and stuff like that. I got rid of the spare tire thing because I wasn't really liking it, and I didn't really think it looked good on the casting. So I kind of filled in the little gaps in the back with some putty and some styrene, and here I am cutting a hole where the engine was going, just to kind of give it that you can see under look of the engine. And I ended up painting the engine off screen, or off camera, I mean. I don't always do everything on camera, but I decided to do it off camera because, it's just kind of a little tedious here and there. But as you see here, I am filing down the inside where I just cut out for the engine, because I wanted to give it that little dropped look. I didn't want it sitting real high or anything like that. Of course, to do every base, I'll cut the little pegs off, or whatever they're called, just to sand it down, smooth it out, make it look set lower. And I ended up doing a little bit more to the interior part of it than I thought about doing, but it did end up turning out looking better the way I did it than leaving the front fenders and those things, because I don't really like the whole front fender look. But why don't we go ahead and take a break from there. But like I said, I go with the wheels to determine the paint scheme, and as you see down at the bottom left, you can barely make out the color, but they're green. They're nice little racing style wheels, and I'm making my own axle because I gotta kind of spread it out and make it a little bit bigger. But they ended up looking really good on this casting. I like how they looked. Like I said, it wasn't one of my best builds, but I think it turned out okay. And the thing is, when you're working with castings like this, you gotta be patient. And I was patient, so, everybody sees me, like, knocking out these videos quick. But honestly, they don't they don't know that I do take my time. I'm not just trying to rush a video out just to get an episode out. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually planning my next video build during the recording of this video. It's kind of what I do. It gives me an idea. I'll pick the casting, and while I'm doing this one, I'm thinking of ideas to do for my next video or my next build. And it just kind of, flows along, and it ends up coming out, and that's why I'm able to knock out these videos so quick. I got plenty of spare time to do videos, and that's kind of why I knock out so many. That's why my main goal a couple months ago was I was trying to get 10 videos out in less than a month, and I knocked it out and I got it done. It's because I really don't have anything else going on. I can't work. I do have I do have income coming in, so, that's no problem there. And I do my best, to keep me occupied, and this is some good therapy, like Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, he agrees, he's the one that, kind of got me back into building these. And before, like, I wasn't taking my time with them. Like, I was literally, I didn't drill out the posts or nothing. I was just prying them apart and trying to muscle my way into building. But I ended up, finding out that's not the right way to do it. So after watching Keith's videos and Paul's videos over at Diecast Graveyard and a few other videos, I started picking up. I was like, okay, maybe I need to get this, maybe I need to get that. Okay, this is what I got to use. And I ended up doing better, and I started getting the materials I needed, the tools I needed, and it started going better. And ever since I started this back up, and I've been doing it for almost a year, well, actually over a year now, and I've only been doing videos for a couple months. I think like 2 months, I've been doing videos, 2.5, somewhere around there. But you see here how, you can see the little spots where I put putty for the roof. Just to kind of fill in those little gaps after cutting it and stuff. I got the little bars right there, holding the front grill on because I wanted it to be all one piece. And, I'm sanding down the back end of where I put a piece of styrene and putty, where I cut the spare tire mount. Excuse me. And, I'm sanding that down, and, could have did a better job sanding it, but I did the best I could. Like I said in my last video, I got a busy week this week, and I actually have, to drive. I got about a 2.5 hour drive coming up that I got for the doctor's appointment. So I'm kind of trying to knock out what I can, do what I can beforehand, because I got stuff I got to do. So my next video probably won't be put out until probably about Friday or Saturday. And I'm trying to knock these out, just so I can have different ones. And I'm trying not to do the same style video, like, back to back. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't want to do 2 Gasland builds back to back, or 2 hot rod builds, or 2, rat rods, or anything like that. I'm kind of wanting to space it out and put that out there. I don't want to do multiple builds that are the same back to back. I just can't do it. Like I said in my last video, I got a restoration mod coming up. I might not modify it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. but I don't even know if it's going to be the next video. But anyway, I don't do very many restorations because I like doing creative stuff to my builds. Here's the Hunter Green. I love this color. It's nice green, dark. It fits what I was looking forward to. And I got a collection of paint that, where I could do multiple different colors. It's rattle king. I don't have the means to get a airbrush kit yet, but I will soon have one. And then, before I actually do any video of me airbrushing, I'm going to do some practice pieces with it before I actually do any airbrushing for my videos. And I know a lot of you will probably agree that'd be the best way, before I do that. And I ended up going with a Toon Tone color, with this. And, while the paint was drying, I was taking my chrome pen and, just going over certain spots I thought would be good chrome. But, you guys remember what we started off with? And without further ado, our final result. See ya next time at the range.